one foot walking in front of the other through the storm, through the hurricane, and that's all you know until you're literally on your knees, frustrated, down on your luck. But we always have to remember those lessons we were taught as children. But when we become adults, we tend to forget those. But we were taught those for a reason. Symbolize when you're down. You're supposed to be down. Be as down there as long as you need to be. But when it's time to rise, wipe your tears, dust yourself off, get back on your feet. Because once you feel motivation or you remember that person, they will want you to do as you were doing, to do great in their memory. Or when the soul is recharged or motivated again, that spark finally. So with that, y'all, just a question I wanted to perceive, y'all. I hope someday I get to hear y'all opinions on the matter. But y'all be good. Can I get a yay yay? Yeah.
Hello, wonderful people. How's everybody doing? If my voice sounds weird, I don't know what's going on. Randomly through like my work shift, like I felt like, you ever feel like you have like paper or like pulp stuck in your throat? That's what I feel like right now. So my voice is gonna be sounding just a little bit weird. So, how's everybody doing? Like I've been reminding you guys, we're slowing down the ball just a bit because I go on vacation on Friday and there won't be a stream until I get back. So we're just playing certain little games that I have in my backlog, stuff like that. Yeah. So today we are playing the Stanley Parable. But before we get into that, remember tomorrow, Angie, subscriber and member of the channel and best friend, she cashed in her golden ticket, and tomorrow we're going to be playing Fortnite. So if you guys want to join in with us, make sure you guys are ready. We're going to be playing the Stanley Parable. I hope you guys don't know what this game is, because it's always good going in blind. It's always good going in blind. That's all I'm going to say about the game. I hope you guys have some snacks. It's going to be a late stream, but it's going to be a short one. It might be like a little 40 to an hour, Also, my suitcase is like on the bed. Look at Coco right here. Hi, Coco. Hi, Coco. Go. And my little sneaker bag. Tomorrow you're playing Angie's shitty little game. Yes, Gary, I hope so, bro. And Angie, I hope so. No, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. For anybody watching the replay, subscriber Bamo, brother, his son is in the hospital because of COVID, but he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. You're going to see. They're going to break that fever, and then you'll be able to scream out whatever friend came over with COVID. Yeah, sit back, relax, grab some snacks. Bimo, what do you have to ask the wonderful people?
Who wants to play video games?
I do. I want to play some video games again. I'm sorry if my voice sounds weird. It happened like, I want to say maybe like 30, 40 minutes ago, where my voice just sounded like this. But here we go. I'm going to switch over to the minimal stream. Like I said, it's best to just go in blind. It is currently 11:45, so yeah. Hang on. There we go. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set to 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you are setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. So you've been so cooperative. Next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. All right, I'll let you get back to the video game now. What's going on, EJ? Tea, sir, drink it. Thanks, Gary. He is 2 months. Oh my god, congratulations, man. I wonder if I am able to delete. Alright, let's do this. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Stanley Parable. What was going on, EJ? Welcome in. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. I think I might have to resize this, though. Just give me 1 second.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Get ready to have an existential
And then one
crisis.
day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
This is an
No one had
interesting
showed
game.
up
What's
to
going on,
give him
Mr. A?
instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened.
Yeah, I gotta
this
resize the screen.
complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Second, let me resize this. This is gonna suck because it's gonna mess. You know what? Let me go back to the game and pause it. Okay, yeah, because everything you do in this game matters. There we go. Give me a second, you guys. It's gonna look weird for you guys. His ears are bothering her because Coco spent the whole time licking her ears. About here. Expand it this way and expand it that way. Boom. Perfect. All right, let's get back to the game. And yes, prayers for Bambo's kid, man. He's gonna be fine. I know he is.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So this time around, what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually listen to the narrator.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're gonna this round. We're gonna actually listen to everything the narrator says.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve dispute with a coworker? Let it ball up inside you. Well, fuck me, I can't read that fast.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nice.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Yeah, and it is then. Like I said,
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
like I said, we're gonna listen to the narrator right now.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
This game is about having nothing but existential crisis.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What was his number? 4 what?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
You also figured out where the reconstruction went wrong?
No.
I'll have you know.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I'll have you know, my sister and brother came home from the mall today with 2 new Lego sets.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Mind control idle. Waiting.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
You got a piranha plant from Mario.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
What makes this game amazing is the endless amount of endings. So now we're gonna run the whole thing the same exact way, but instead of hitting the off button, we'll hit the on button and see what's the difference.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Freedom! We'll go to the left.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here
Talk
either.
less. Do unbelievably
Feeling a
amazing
wave
work all
of
the time, every day, with no
disbelief,
exception
Stanley
of
decided
promotion
to
or
go up
recognition.
to his boss's
Don't get
office,
fired.
hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs, trying to input yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This game has endless upon endless endings. And it's just a game that I just like.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
Next time we'll go
Control
through the escape.
Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Protocol.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them,
and it gets weirder and weirder. Yes, it
in
does.
This place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere what precious moments each one of them is.
So 5 is
more
behind
time
us.
to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I
That's
barely
4.
know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
Yeah.
You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless, to see you made humble. This is not a challenge, it's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same.
I have no idea what to do.
All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
I had no idea what to do there. All right, so let's not listen to him
All
this
of his
time around.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
He
memo.
was in room 420. Nothing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
gonna go to the
he
one on the
entered the
right.
door on it. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Click on door 430. I got you next time.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
We're gonna go through the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this
I know
what you
Wicked
wanted?
loves this because
Was
Wicked
it worth ruining the entire
Wicked
story
wants to
I'd
make his
written
own
out
game.
specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You give me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Now we're going to go through the left door.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I'll give him a 1.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Good O'Neill, Skid, Micho Nacho. Did you know that 21% of players skipped the intro sequence? Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. Let's go through a right door.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's
I want to pause because I do know a couple of endings. There is an ending where you play this for 4 hours and that's an ending.
effective. Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
I'm going to let that baby go straight to the fire. I don't know that baby. I don't know who baby that is.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating.
This is
What do you
the
think this
fire
game's about,
game
Stanley?
thing, right?
What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that
Firehouse,
you are meant to
I think
play
it
as
is.
a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating
fire
venture into the
watches the
experience
fire
of total
watch?
mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And
Fire
it seems
watch,
there's
yeah,
even
yeah.
more. Come, let's venture outward and see
Everybody's
what else
drawn
is out
this.
there.
I went the wrong way. I heard this indie game is good.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
All right, let's see what game he picks now.
Wonderful.
Rocket
See, this is
League.
exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly
Bro
do we
wants you to
do
play
here?
Attack on
Let's
Titan.
see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought.
Clearly I suck.
And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls
What in the Rocket
makes
League?
for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
I missed that one. I'm ass.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Ball in the goal. Thank you, Vic.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Shit. You're late.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
The narrator always reminds me of the best thing DC has ever put out. Best DC show that should have been made into a movie is not Suicide Squad. No, let chaos reign. Damn, how could I forget the name of that show?
All of his co-workers would go. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A
Doom
measly
Patrol.
5 clicks.
Doom Patrol.
Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49.
I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a
God.
true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415, 10 clicks. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Now,
10.
back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
What is the copy machine at?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now.
God
I think
damn
we're
it.
getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
419. The hell is this 419's desk at? Four 421, 422, 424, 423, 419. I don't have no jump button. There's no jump button. Right? Yeah, there's no jump button. So how am I supposed to climb up that desk? I have no idea what I did there.
Yes!
There we go.
This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again! Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Thanks, Vic. Thank you. I wonder what that input was. This thing. I wonder if it's something that I need to like input. Ah, yeah, so I have a guide to get to the heaven ending. Want to know how to get it? Hell yeah, Sully. Let's
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
let's do the
he
escape,
entered the
and
door
then
on his
we'll
left.
you walk me through that, Sully. And welcome in, man.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Gotta check what's over there. The
The
input
moment
is the
he
first
entered his
step to the
manager's
handfoot.
office, Stanley
Okay.
froze in his tracks. Not a living soul
2, 8, 4,
anywhere.
5.
Could he really be all alone? This was too... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New
Oh
Age music.
God. How you doing, Sully? This game is something else. So give me the steps of the heaven ending.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Alright, so we're gonna take the escape route. No, not Yanny. So you need to restart the beginning, find another input computer, and then at the end you need to press the input in your office. Okay. So I'm guessing the first one will be that computer, and then we have to find the other input.
Stanley
We need to
walked
find
straight
6 in
ahead through
total.
the large
Okay.
door that read
Do you know which
Mind
6?
Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I don't remember. One sec. Yeah, you let me know, Sully.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Hold on.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Sorry, I copied it instead of typing. 1 sec. Shit. Employee database loaded. Button sounds. Selection of sounds used throughout the game. When buttons are pressed, each sound has a mix of a keyboard stroke. Maintenance room. First 419's computer, then 423's computer, then the boss's secretary's computer, then 434's computer, then your desk computer. Okay, got you. Warzone, early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on the battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of the people who like shooters, which is not our intention. Narrator emails. From Art, subject, regarding the game in the works. Dear narrator, appreciate the previous... Goddamn. Y'all don't be letting me read. Will Stanley Parable have infinite quests? How many endings? Stanley Parable is really good at letting me go shopping. I hope it will find its selection. How do you make JRPGs? How do you make the worst game ever? What is the difference between a duck? What is the difference between a duck? One option. Kind of why I don't like going to museums.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking
Do I do it?
someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't...
Damn. Now I think we need to do that ending and then get to that point where and just All right, let's do Sully's ending. So Sully's ending
All of his
says
co-workers were gone.
419.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, I'm guessing I need to do the thing first in order to have that computer turned on. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a
Going
door
on,
5
Lance.
times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say
1,
that's
2,
the
3,
kind
4,
of
5,
effort
6,
that
7, 8, 9,
warrants
10, 11,
recognition.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
I'm gonna just Mario Party it.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no
You
matter
already
what
did
the cost.
419.
Why don't you go put
Oh, so
20
it's
clicks
every
into door number
iterations?
417?
Is it every iteration in which I need to do, like every time the game restarts, go press that?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437. Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Right, because the computer's not turning on. I think that's what you probably meant, Sully. Nah, let's do Sully's thing. Or, nope, I almost fucked it up.
Now, back to door number 437.
Still not on. You already turned it off. Yeah, I'm guessing.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling
I just
it
want to
now.
make sure,
I think we're
but
getting
I think
somewhere.
you're right. No way, not that way.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Okay, so it didn't turn on. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. So okay. All right. So it's every time that it restarts. So every time that it restarts, I have to go do the other input. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, God damn it, I'm going to pin your thing so I don't miss it. We're gonna pin Sully's thing. Sully's comment. Give me 1 second. I have a little. There we go. Now begin the game again. Okay, okay. We'll go through this new content door. Got you, Sully. Okay, all right. So we did 419, 43. Then the boss's secretary's computer is next. Okay.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I love the narrator. Can you imagine you having somebody narrate your whole life?
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Mario Party it. Same bucket. Vic, why you keep saying bucket? Oh shit. I jumped an extra time.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see,
The
Stanley,
almighty bucket.
this is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for
What's
no
with the
reason other than
bucket?
to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game? And we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
I better
What
be
do you
excited about
say,
this bucket.
friend?
I better be excited about this bucket. Door 4 dirty.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave the stream on in case I disappear for more than 5 minutes. I do have school tomorrow, unfortunately. The bucket is key. The bucket better.
Okay, you remember
With
how
event
cheap and
first.
unsatisfying
Gotcha,
the new
Sully.
Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got
I'm
me
gonna stay
thinking
up
about the past
long enough to
and
see
how
the
much
dang
better
bucket.
the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
What in the Dark
Take a
Souls?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had
The bucket is
integrity.
love. The bucket is
Back
life.
then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
British Academy of Film and Television Arts to Bruce Stradley for The Last of Us, but they what in the little house on the prairie? Trip down memory lane. A smile because it happened. Mr. Krabs' dollar. Careful, SpongeBob. Careful, SpongeBob. Don't play for 5 years. Unachievable. It is impossible to get the achievement. New video game releases today. Creators surprisingly down to earth. Rutgers goes from scandal to new crisis. Colleges show uneven efforts to enroll poor. Cost hinders new tack to achieve diversity. Business leaders pushing election of console allies. 50% off a designer hat, but a small creature owns the other half. That's hilarious. Late edition. Today, sunny, hot, humid, high, 92 tonight, clear. The Stanley Parable goes beyond weirder games like Subliminal. Subliminal is next on my list. Stanley Parable deals tough choices.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk.
I want to do
Superliminal
Superliminal.
with an hour of new
I also do want to do
elevator
Spelunky.
content.
Review Shrine. The tasteful nostalgic. It was good. Memory zone maintenance. Person of the year. That's supposed to be Stanley.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
How the hell am I supposed to get over there?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley is a
Reviews.
collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Oh my
Surely
god.
these
Please
reviews
let
were
it be a
glowing
bad
as well,
review.
weren't they?
I love how the first thing the narrator made for a non-story is a building in the woods that literally is about one game story that he technically created. It's bad
Honestly,
reviews.
I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh, this is so brilliant.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say?
Oh, and these were based off of
Constantly
actual
have to stop
reviews,
doing
apparently.
anything
Yeah, it looks like
so the
it.
narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
You have to check everywhere with this game. Oh, the skip button.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very
Where did
proud
that
to have
come
delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flurry.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to...
Bro, I feel the same here.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really... Oh, Stanley.
Oh, this is hilarious.
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
Do I press
just
it again?
Sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already
Put
been
in your
doing?
votes.
Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't
Hurry
hear
up,
me
vote,
once you push that
vote.
button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was...
Hey, turn around for a surprise.
Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us
door's
and about
gone.
everything we've been
Oh,
through.
it is.
I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you.
Man is dead.
To begin with, there
Clock
is
ain't even
only
ticking no more.
regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities.
He's dead? Fire alarm ran out of batteries.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, the end is never the end is never
Basically,
the end is never the end is never the
Basically,
end
the button is a
never the
domain
end
expansion,
is
but
never
it's
the end is
suspended
never
for
the
like what,
end is never the
200
end is
years?
never the
Yeah.
end is never the end is never the end is never the end is never the end is
He's
never
going
the
crazy. Oh, snap. Nature really does take it back. You know what's crazy? You know what movie I saw today? Click. With Adam Sandler. Okay. What in the Zelda? The last moment of humanity is people screaming, apparently. Is there anybody out there? There. I forgot to bring my water bottle. Is there anybody out there? The boss's secretary's computer.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I think we might just
decided
do
to
the
go to
heaven ending
meeting
and then
room.
call it.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. Let's go to the computer.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Secretary's computer. We'll first go through the door again. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crime, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Ooh, extreme bathrooms. Time magazine with a clock on it, by the way. Why would somebody shoot a business strategy? Shoot a panda. Now go to 434's computer, then yours. Gotcha. Yeah, I love this elevator music. Y'all better be dancing with me. One. Look at my suitcase on the head. The long ass elevator ride.
Okay, I think...
Oh, I checked the door? Oh, I checked the door. Wonder if it will let me go to 434's computer. Nope. I thought we broke the game. Oh. Yeah, I think so too, Sully. I think you're right. Right, yeah, because it's still counting it as that one. What did I do? I broke it. I think I broke it by stepping in and stepping out. You see what's going on, right? I broke it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And then Stanley's computer. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. See, I could see this being a heaven, but the buttons have to be satisfying to push. Is that voice saying push the buttons? Oh my god, what do I do? My brain is telling me to like push all the same colors. Bro, I can't get this out of my head now that you said it, right? It sounds like it. Push the buttons. Alright, Sully, is there a way to solve this, or is it like I gotta restart again? Probably a hamburger. Does it still send me back to the same place? This is all that it offers, really. Okay. All right. So FO3 kind of goated. All right. Then we'll do one more, and then we'll call it.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
If the new content is
Oh,
on.
good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
We'll do one more, and then we'll call it, you guys. I gotta finish packing for the vacation. That was a good one, Sully. That was a good one. Then there's an ending in the new content. Go right. Oh, never mind. Don't worry, Vic. We'll always play this again.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So
Always,
forget
Sully,
this
always.
ultra deluxe nonsense.
Also, is that a blue
I say we
Kirby as
take
your
it
profile picture?
one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, shit.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely
end is
new
never the
experience,
end.
built from the
Again.
ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Investor showcase.
Calling it the Stanley
Yep, that's my
Parable
profile
2
picture.
is just so much catchier than
Do you
Ultra
play
Deluxe,
Smash
don't
at
you
all?
think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even
Or are you
mean?
just like a Kirby
But
fan?
the Stanley Parable 2,
Boyo
now
fan.
that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term
Boyo?
franchising potential.
They're back. 2 doors. The Stanley Parable 2. I made a Kirby OC named Curb. Nice.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical.
I play
really.
Smash Bros. As Kirby all the time. I had a feeling. You love that down B, huh? That down B from above. I mean, Little Mac, believe it or not.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game? No way. Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the
Too
first
big,
and
too
most
small,
obvious answer
just
is that
right.
they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button
I trained
which
a Kirby
speaks the
amiibo?
name of the
Nice.
person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you
I
are,
can't
and
with this.
simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself
I'm
living
Jim
as
from The
Jim,
Office.
sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the...
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Do it again.
Jim.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name the button says, but no.
Jim.
Instead,
Jim.
I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
Jim.
Alright, that was hilarious. That was funny. It'd be even more funny if I press this button and it says Jim.
maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable
screenshots.
too. They would appreciate what I've created here.
No.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll
The
figure that out
reassurance
later.
bucket? Is that the bucket y'all was talking about? Jim Button. No screenshots, please. Stanley Parable too. The Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. Is this the bucket you guys are talking about?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of
The bucket is
reckless
missing.
despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as
there
you
it is.
hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to
One sec.
long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma?
The bucket
as
will
well.
rule all.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I'm taking the bucket with me. The button that
Does
says
anyone give out
Jim.
awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
This t-shirt is the best new feature.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday. Happy 12th birthday, stepniece. Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, stepniece, it is.
Look inside again. I think it's changed. You pick.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
You heard Jim in the game. The button that says the name of the player. Is the Jim button back though? It's not. But it did change. Free new and easy achievement. Oh, it didn't change it. The inside of the room didn't change, but it did say infinite hole. It won't end. Free achievement. Get yours now. Pull the lever, receive your achievement. No more steps. It just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the
My
achievement
uncle's
will be
name is
given
Jim.
to you. It's as simple as
Wicked.
that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
It is strange that this is the only thing that's like open. I love my bucket. The best bucket. It's the best bucket in the world.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Oh.
Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
That's new collectibles. Can you find them all?
Ah,
my bucket!
Collectibles.
Oh no, it's still there.
Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, this is such a great commentary on video games. Looking at you, Breath of the Wild.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Exit. Actually, we didn't try the infinite hole. Let's try the infinite hole real quick. That's what she said. This is hilarious though. Oh, my voice feels weird. I don't know when that happened today. It still
Stanley,
feels like I have paper stuck in my throat.
Of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole,
reminds me of Spy Kids 2.
The teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Should I just leave it running?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Alright, let's leave it running for a bit.
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Oh my god.
Okay, Stanley.
Which your
I don't know
doo-doo season
quite how
was
to
coming
say
out.
this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look,
every pause button is a Roman numeral too.
You're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall
Just
infinitely?
the two of us.
I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need.
Building
Don't you
castles
put
in
this
the
on
sky.
me. Maybe you're the problem. Look,
From management to everyone.
there. I think we both said some
Meeting
things
at
we didn't
2
mean.
p.m.
Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
New mug.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Tip, fall down
Great.
again. Yo,
Now, I'm very
Sully,
excited to
I
show
love you, bro.
even
You
more.
giving me all the tips.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal
That's what she
person
said.
would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Like doing it again.
Had enough? I'm positively... Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow.
Keeps getting shorter.
Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure?
I'm pressing it.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
That's hilarious. He's walking away from the microphone. Oh my god, you have so. The whole. I can't. Why with the dramatic music? Change your perspective? No freaking way. Change your reality? Stanley face reveal.
My head's stronger. Now you're no up this space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no
Change yourself.
longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer.
I can't.
Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to
Yo,
miss
what's
a
up,
single
Choco?
moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really
Change yourself
truly
again.
focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years
Nothing,
here
man.
in this
Chilling.
hole, and I'm
Getting ready
looking
for this
forward to all
vacation
of
on
them.
Friday.
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Is he gonna do it again? How about you, Choco? You liking that game you're playing? What is it? Become Human? Or No Longer Human?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
That was hilarious. I just got back from smoking and blasting music. Sully's new here. Sully's been helping me
All right.
with
Have you
all
seen
of
everything
this.
you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Super dubbed on me off it. What do you mean? What do you mean?
So, Stanley,
What happened? There was
do
a
you think?
paywall?
Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features
I'm
together,
playing Fort
and
tomorrow,
we'll see
Angie.
whether or not it coheres.
Let me pause real quick. So we have this thing because I think Sully's new here. I don't know if he hit the subscribe button or not, but I hope you do. But Angie, I do this thing where if you join the membership, you get what I call a golden ticket that lets you choose whatever game we play for that month. And Angie chose Fortnite for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last stream before I go ahead and go on vacation. So tomorrow we're doing Fort. I don't think I'm a human at this point. I use a voice filter on Lethal Company and content warning and soundboard. I do the same too. We started doing this weird thing with us sound and while we're playing Majora's Mask, because there's a lot of reading in Zelda. So I just use different voice mods.
Into a meaningful gameplay experience.
So yeah, Choco, we're playing Fort tomorrow if you're trying to join.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean,
bucket.
there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a
The infinite
different
hole.
arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we
made
go.
it to the bucket.
Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the
I see,
structure and the
Choco. So
gameplay
it
of the original.
basically
Wait,
paywalled you.
maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. with respect.
No, you can do the
with
heaven
care for
ending
the
with the
vision
bucket.
and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
All I wanted was my
suppose it
crossbow. I
could,
geared
but
up
it
that
would need
last
a
30 minutes to stream, and then I heard that
tremendous
voice.
title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
Okay, Vic, I'll do the bucket ending, but you have to walk me through it, and that'll be the last ending before I cut the
Take a
stream.
look.
Oh, this is hilarious. I can move through the settings? Please go no further.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building
With the
where he
balloons.
was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
Gary
This is
likes
what
me.
employee
You aight.
427 did every day of every month of every year.
And then you can
although
pick up the
others
bucket and
might have
do all the
considered
other
it
endings with
soul-winning,
different dialogue.
Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been
Yeah,
made
horrible taste in
exactly
games.
for this job. And Stanley was happy. And
Just
then
want you to
one
pick up the
day,
bucket. I
something
got
very
you.
peculiar
Tell me
happened.
where to get it.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him
The
instructions.
balloons. That's the
call a
only thing
meeting,
about Stanley
or
Parable
even
2.
say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So I'm not done. I'm not done. Not similar to why I stopped Diablo 4, but similar to why I'm done with it. I got you. All right, tell me
All
where
of
the
his
bucket is,
co-workers
Vic.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, there it is.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I have a bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to
And
himself.
Fortnite is what you
Yes,
consider
perhaps
good.
it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was
Bucket
speaking
sounds
to
like
him.
salad
It should have
fingers.
alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Okay, this has been fun, but I shall take a break for the night. Thank you so much for stopping by, Sully, man. If you liked what you saw, I hope you hit that subscribe button. I hope we see you in later streams.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley,
What?
how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
I suppose that would explain a lot about your
Have a great
behavior up
night,
to this
Sully.
point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
So now we have to learn what is a bucket.
Now then,
Is this
I'm
a
going to
bucket?
run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
I say we get all the answers wrong.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
What?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I'm sorry, I love stupid shit like this.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
You know you like me. Yeah.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
Yes.
I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game.
No!
Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Yes.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
The almighty bucket. All right, you guys. The sequel is now on pause. That's hilarious. We're gonna call it. Hope you guys had fun. Just a nice little weird game that we're playing. Tomorrow will be the last stream before the mid-season finale, and then I am on vacation for 6 days, and then we'll be back sometime next week. It'll be like I'm never gone, but that means I won't be active on social media. I'm not gonna be streaming. I don't have any pre-recorded videos to keep you guys busy. So, with all that being said, I want you guys to go ahead and make sure you guys are bothering Choco Odysseus, bothering Simba, bothering King Urameshi as much as possible as while I'm gone. So yes, tune in tomorrow for some Fortnite. If you guys have Fortnite, play with us. It'd be hilarious. I haven't played in basically a year now. I haven't played in a year. I think the last time I saw Fortnite, I think I tuned into DPG's stream and I saw him playing in what looked like a Thunderdome with monster trucks or whatever. But yeah, like always, be the reason why somebody smiles, because you guys are the reason why I smile. For whatever reason you can't find in yourself to make another human smile, I want you guys to do something nice for yourself this week. Love every single one of you guys. Say it back to me. And also leave a like. That lets me know that you watched the video all the way towards the end. Love every single one of you guys. And if you need any words of inspiration, he ain't the narrator from the Stanley Parable, but he has an amazing voice. Listen to some Choco Odysseus. Bye-bye.
Squad, squadettes, squadrinian. Welcome. But before we proceed any further, you know the rules. Come here, accept this air hug. How you doing? You good? How's your day? How was your evening? How was your night? You good? All right. How was work? All right. I hope wherever you are, by the time you're hearing this or whatever you get to hear this, wherever you are, East Coast, West Coast, overseas, I hope you are in good health and in good spirits. If you're not in good health, I hope you're as healthy as you can be. And if you're not in good spirits, then I hope by the end of this experience, that is our first mixtape, Recaída Paradise. If I can get you to feel anything, any kind of emotion, put you in a better mood in any way possible from any of these songs or the whole thing, I've done my job. So with that being said, if you're kickbacking and relaxing, kick the feet up. If you're driving, drive safe. If you're working out or whatever you're doing, yeah. So let me not ramble on any further. With that being said, let's get into it. Let me get a yay yay. Let's kick this journey. No, let's continue this. All right.